John, it's good to see you again, brother. How's things going?
Yeah, really good, man. Really good, actually. Yeah. Just about to release my first ever solo record in 33 years of playing in the music industry, which is pretty interesting. Uh, yeah,
Mate,
didn't plan on doing that. Just happened. Just
mate,
happened.
I will tell you what. Before we get going, loving the beard and the long hair. It's very like metal.
It's actually I know it comes across as metal, but it's actually more like during COVID, I just gave up. I just gave up and then went, actually, I don't mind having. Well, initially it was like I can't even believe I can still grow my hair. I'm 53 now, so I'm sort of going bonus. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to go hard, you know. And
Yeah.
then my kids really like it. Every now and then it's like they hate it because I'm the one that cooks dinner at home, so they're all constantly like pulling my hair out of their food, and I've got to get one of those chef hairnets,
And
bro.
the big hat. Um, but I like it. It's cool. You can do windmills again.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
I can't anymore. I can't. But mate, I got to say that I'm absolutely loving this album, The Last of the Lonely Gods.
shit,
Um,
bro.
it is, mate. I got to say, it's a beautifully written record that was born out of grief and loss and a difficult time in your life, to my
Mm.
understanding. But it's a heavy album, man. It's emotionally heavy, and it really
Yeah,
got under my skin.
yeah, it is a heavy record, but for me, it's quite a comforting record as well. Like it's like I needed to hear that music after all the shit me and my family went through. You know,
Yeah.
like I needed music that was like there, man. It's actually okay. Life's still beautiful. Life's still worth living. Yes, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel loss, and it's actually okay. It's part of life, you know. And I just needed music that was that yeah that sort of held me, bro. Like and I just couldn't find the record, and so I wrote it. Like that was the music I needed to hear, you know. Like yeah.
It's
It's
funny that
interesting.
because I often there's albums that I often turn to when I'm feeling that way, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the fact that you wrote that, you know, because you needed that through that time, it must have been, was that a difficult process
Well,
to go through to find that music within yourself?
so the thing that finally tipped me over, apart from losing mom and then getting separated from my wife and family while I was I got caught in New Zealand when it went into lockdown away
Yeah.
from the wife and kids back in Melbourne for 3.5 months, and then it was actually catching COVID and getting a COVID complication that turned my tinnitus up really really loud
Good.
to the point where I just couldn't sleep. So it was driving me mad. And this is a documented thing, apparently. Like I didn't know when it first sort of arrived on the scene, I was worried because I'm an asthmatic. I
Mm.
thought, oh, shit, if I catch COVID, I won't be able to breathe, you know. And then it didn't go anywhere near my lungs. It went straight into my nose and my ears and my sinuses, and messed with that. And then 2 weeks after I caught it, I got woken up out of a dream and it was like a car alarm was going off in my head, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" But yeah, then I went to the top nose throat specialist in Auckland, went to the Auckland Tinnitus Clinic at the University of Auckland, and they were like, "Yeah, unfortunately, uh, the data coming out of America is if you've got pre-existing tinnitus." And you catch COVID, you got a 40 to 50% chance of it turning it right up. And we don't have enough data to know when it goes back down again. I can tell you right now, that was 2 years ago and it's still loud. So it doesn't, this is a long COVID thing that
Yeah.
the thing that actually got me through it in the end was a thing called cognitive behavioral therapy, right? So I went to see a cognitive behavioral therapist who basically the way they work is they look at the way you're thinking. So I was sitting, I'd be like reading my kids stories and bedtime stories and not being able to be present with them because this ringing was just going off in my head really loud, and I was just going I got to the point where I was like, fuck, I'm not sure this is really taking away my uh, enjoyment of my life. This is actually impacting me quite heavy, um and so she was basically, okay, the reason it's getting worse is because it's attention based. So you're sitting there going, shit, and then worrying about the future, and going, well, what's it going to be like in 2 years' time if it's as bad as it is now? You don't actually know the answer to that question, but your brain's making a story up, going, you're thinking it knows, but it doesn't know. And so you're catastrophizing. So you've got to bring yourself back to the present moment, and you've got to chill your nervous system out, because it's basically your brain's sort of doing an early warning system, trying to protect me from being eaten by a lion, which is crazy. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
It thinks that I've lost my top end hearing. So it's attenuating those high frequencies up really loud just to make sure I don't get eaten in the jungle. So it's a real primal thing.
Yep.
And so the idea is to try and tell my brain it's okay to, like, it's okay. I'm not going to get eaten by a lion. I'm living in the suburb. I'm fine. But and she was like, the first thing I would suggest to trauma patients is you need to meditate. Unfortunately, with tinnitus, silence is the enemy, man. Silence is the worst thing you can have while you've got tinnitus, because as soon as you are in a quiet place, the first thing your brain goes to is that.
Oh yeah, I have to sleep with the fan on, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah,
sleep
totally.
without the fan.
Yes,
Even
that's right.
because I'm super deaf, and I've got it from because I do the death metals, and I
That's right, man.
have my hearing. I didn't look after my hearing,
Yeah,
so
man. Well, the thing with Shihad, like, it's like, I loved that rush of volume, and I still do, and I always felt like, if I wore earplugs, it would separate me from the experience, like it would separate me from being in that thing and going, whoa, like, which is the
yeah,
whole reason I got into it. So I, silly me, but it was always manageable before I caught COVID. I could sort of hear it if I tuned into it, but apart from that, it would just be in the background. But COVID fucking cranked it, man, and it was like, to the point where on the first night that it happened, I didn't sleep for 36 hours. Ended up in an A&E with doctors pumping me full of lorazepam and just to wipe me out, like, because it's like, whoa, having these massive full-blown panic attacks, bro, going, shit, I'm out of control of my body. Fuck, I just wanted to run away from myself. I could,
yeah,
but you can't. So I'd go on these huge long walks at 3 o'clock in the morning, fucking going, shit, I just got to get away from the sound. I couldn't get away from it, like, so anyway, the cognitive behavioral therapist said, okay, you can't meditate, but another form of mindfulness is playing music. So if you can pick up your guitar, just play it, and just let your mind get lost in the music and focus on that and become present. And that's what I did. And because of all the personal carnage and the shit that I've been through, I didn't want to be making loud music. I wanted to
yeah,
be making music that went, whoa, whoa, it's okay, like, just chill, and then I started writing, like, out of these periods of playing guitar, just to try and get me through this fucking anxiety and this tinnitus. I started thinking about all the shit that had happened to me and the family over the 3 years of COVID. And I just started writing about it, So the first song I wrote was Love is Forever, which is basically me thinking about my mum while my daughter, 6-year-old daughter's running around in front of me, and then being real sad about my mum, but then looking at my daughter going, shit, I've seen photos of my mum at the same age. She's got the same eyes, same fucking legs. I can see that, that continuity through her. And
yeah.
there she is, in a way, like, there she is. That's that cycle of life thing. So
That
that's the
one
first
got
song I
me,
wrote.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
That one
That,
got me the most. I was driving my car when I first heard it,
yeah.
and I was a fucking mess, bro. It got me real good. And I went and picked up my mate for work, and she's like, "You all right?" I was like, "This album's got me good." Hey, it's beautiful song, mate. It's a
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, thanks, bro. I mean, yeah, it was just yeah, that opened the floodgates. It was like, yeah, boom. And then it was like I could think about other things. I could think about, like, things like Gravity, where it's just more about, okay, shit, okay, that's just happened. So
Yeah,
this life is going fast. And so how do I make sure that I get the most out of each day? How do I make sure that I don't waste time going down paths that aren't gonna serve me, like, shit like that. And then then things like Shouldn't Leave It Like That, where I was sort of thinking about the comparison between when I said goodbye to my dad, like when my dad died 12 years ago, I was there bedside for 3.5 months, making sure that, there was nothing left unsaid between us. But then when mum got sick, she went into a coma and I couldn't do that last goodbye. So it's like, all right, you don't know what's going to happen in life. So if you've got something unsaid to someone that you love, you probably should say it rather than hold on to it. So songs like that. So it's all just thinking about those big things that you think about when you lose your parents and you're getting older. And I just needed the right music for that sort of sentiment. And it was just working through it. And then I think I got 8 songs deep, and I was like, "Fuck, I think like I love this music. I wonder if other people will like that music." So I played it to the record company because she had been with Warner's for like 25 years, man. So I know everybody in that office, so it's not like I felt in safe hands, like. So I played it to them, and I remember playing "Last of the Lonely Gods," and not being able to look at it was Stevie and Lisa from there was like the head of A&R and the boss, and I couldn't look at them while I was playing it because I was just so nervous about it because it's pretty vulnerable music. And then the song finished and there was no sound from them, and I was like, oh shit. And then I turned around and Lisa just had tears streaming down her face. I was like, okay, right, okay, cool. So that not that I wanted to make anyone cry, but it's good to know that it gets that emotional response, like, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it got it from me, and I think a lot of people are going to find a lot of positivity in it, and they're going to relate to it, and I think it's going to help them through their own grief and loss and growth. I think it's a incredible album, man. Very different from Shihad, even the softer Shihad stuff.
Yeah.
It's like there's Metal John, and then there's
Yeah.
this other side, and I love that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, the thing is, but I've always been a sucker for melody, especially sort of melody that's sort of straddling that line between sadness and triumph. Like I love that combination. Like that bittersweet, big, beautiful thing. And I think it's being brought up in NZ. There's all these flying nun bands as well as all the British music I listened to in the 80s, and then and then America. It's got American music influence in there and stuff. But I've always been a sucker for melody, even if you go back to Churn and stuff like that, it's still like there's a song like Stations, which is very melodic. Then you go on Killjoy, and then it's like Deb's Night Out. Even the chorus of Gimme Gimme, I mean that's a heavy song, but it's like when it busts into that chorus, it's quite a beautiful chorus. And Bitter and stuff like that. It's like, so we've always played with melody. It's just that I gave myself a real limitation with this record in the fact that I was like, okay, it's got to work on this instrument with a voice. And that makes me, I think it made me write differently, because it was like in Shihad, if we're jamming out and I'm like, that verse is great, that chorus is great, but that pre-chorus but skew with, hey, Phil, can you just play a little bit of a guitar line over there? Oh, yeah, well, there you go. That fixes that. With this, it's like, well, that's if something's not working, you've got to fix it at the scaffold level, at the foundational level. So there's nothing to hide behind. So even though the final product, Scott Horscroft has put, a great piano player, Andy Mack playing on it and stuff like that, it's all designed around this and this, So it makes you write differently, because you can't. Yeah, the scaffold's got to be right before you can move on to the next bit,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what, brought me into Shihad to begin with. Like, was the melody and the heavy,
Yeah.
Killjoy.
Yeah.
I was there from Killjoy, and that's something that taught me a lot about music.
Yeah.
Bands like Shihad and Filter, you get the heaviness, and then you got the big choruses, and that's very important to me. But
Yeah.
man, you're hitting the
Even
road.
even the t-shirt that you're wearing, Faith No More,
Oh, of course.
they're playing with melody all the time, man. All the time.
And then you drop it into the heavy riffs. I think I
Then
was
you go.
actually wearing this the last time we spoke. I just grabbed
That was the tour we did with them through Europe, man. Fuck, we played 27 shows with those guys through like Scandinavia and Paris and everywhere. It's
It's
great.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy times. But you're going to be hitting the road, man. You're going to be playing my neck of the woods at
Yeah.
Mo's.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's going to be great, man.
Yeah,
How
totally. Man. I'm just gonna bring this sucker over. It's my new D18. Fuck, it sounds so good. I can't put it down at the moment. And just I think the album's about 37 minutes long, so I'll play that, and then I'm just gonna go like through songs that either I've written myself from my past, or songs that were big for me as a kid that I can still, sink my teeth into. So that's Bowie, or even some NZ artist, or whatever,
The
but
dudes,
it'll be,
Bliss.
yeah, definitely the dudes, man. I love the
Yeah,
dudes.
it's so good.
Such a great fucking track.
Yeah, man. I know
Yeah.
you were playing that on the last run, didn't you? You were playing that.
Yeah, man.
Ah, love it, love it. But yeah, man. Of course. What is? I got to ask, what's happening with Shihad at the moment? Is everyone still on a break or?
Yeah. We're just having a little break. And then there's talk about there's talk about some shows early next year. So there's definitely things in the pipeline. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that too, brother. Yeah.
New music?
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. One thing I gotta say is like, man, I'm on the hunt for Killjoy on vinyl. So please reissue again.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's the only thing
It's-
with when you tell people that, hey, there's only 500 copies and then they sell out, it's like it'd be pretty mean to those people that bought that 500 copies to go,
Oh,
actually, we were just joking. We'll do another 500. But yeah, we have had that's the album that seems to have been like, yeah, but that went really quickly, and
I went to buy a copy the other day. And it was like $300.
yeah, I've seen it get really high on Discogs. It's like, well, really? I mean, that's crazy. But that repressing, that Australian repressing, was by far superior to the original one that Noise Records did. It actually sounded fucking fantastic. So it's worth getting if you can get that Warner Brother repress. Yeah, it's the one.
Man, that's all right.
Original shit. The original. It's probably expensive, but the original doesn't sound as good. The one that the Noise Records did in Germany sounds nowhere near as good as the one that Warner's did. Yeah.
Might just have to. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm just gonna do it. My mate's got one, Ollie. He's got it, and he swears by it too. So we were talking about if you ever see a post that just says tune with a video on of that's us at
Yeah,
2
right.
in the morning drinking with the video clips on his deck.
Oh,
That's
wicked.
us. What the clips, and that's what set me off. Was a couple of
That's so
years
cool.
going,
That's
I
so
need to
cool.
get it now, and I almost bit the. And I was like, nah.
Nah, $300, man.
I was like,
Cost of living. Cost of living. Geez.
nah, you were. I've just got to come up with a good excuse for why I did it with my wife. So maybe you can. What? I,
Well, I mean, just say that you could send it over, you can mail it over to me, and I'll personalize it and do all that stuff, and yeah, yeah,
to Nev's wife. Uh,
yeah.
this is worth it.
This is worth it. I know. Hey, it's just 1 week's grocery shopping.
Yeah, that. Hey, I'll find a way. I'll find a way. But man, of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the coast, man. It's gonna be great. And album's coming out this week.
Yeah,
Man, exciting times.
awesome, man. Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But in the meantime, we'll have all the links down here and on the show notes. John, take care, brother, and we'll see you on the Goldie.
Absolutely, dude. Have a great day, man.
You too, man.